A lover losing interest can be hard to accept.
She was just over being harassed by an ex-boyfriend.
But overstaying your welcome can have fatal consequences.
This was a heartless crime with no passion involved at all.
1989, in the tiny country town of Meerbu North, Victoria, Australia. Paul Snable and Karen Randall's relationship is running hot and cold.
I gotta go.
Karen, stay.
She kept taking him back and then dumping him again and taking him back and dumping him again.
This time it will be different, I promise.
You said that every time. It's the same thing, always.
The conflict in the relationship was there from the outset.
I love you.
Paul was a typical sort of country lad, a bit rough around the edges.
Single mother Karen is unsure about Paul because he is using amphetamines. Speed.
Use of amphetamines just has a terrible effect on one's normal personality. He was a nice bloke who reacted badly when he was on drugs.
Karen, you're making a really big deal out of nothing.
Yeah, well, I don't agree. I think it's actually quite serious. Why are you taking
When
me
he
away
is
from
high,
home?
Paul loses control of his temper. He crosses the line, becoming a violent abuser.
Karen, I'm not doing anything.
He would push her around and abuse her and things like that.
There was certainly a history there of violence. We know for a fact that there had been intervention orders taken out by Karen against Paul.
Karen decides to make a clean break from Paul, and with her son, moves to another town.
He wasn't actually supposed to know where she lived.
But lovesick Paul can't let go. In an attempt to find Karen, he takes drastic action.
He did follow her young son home from school one day, and he did turn up at the new place that she'd moved to.
And Paul leaves a message that Karen takes as a threat.
And left a card under the door with words on it, "You make me see red." So that upset Karen and also caused concern for her immediate friends.
I think that was what triggered her ridiculous overreaction to the situation, as she called it, the Paul situation.
He's ruining my life. I mean, he seriously frightens me. I just don't know what he's going to do next. He followed little Jimmy home from school the other day. Everywhere
Karen
I go,
turns to her
it's
sister Donna and her girlfriends for advice.
In the view of other people who she was confiding in, amounted to a constant harassment that Paul was exposing her to.
This cake smells divine.
Gorgeous, beautiful.
Over tea and cake, the women discuss the problem.
They started talking about dealing with the Paul situation,
We should have his legs broken.
which was a number of scenarios.
There was a suggestion at one stage there to tie him to a tree and kneecap him.
You inject him with battery acid.
And that's what I'm talking about. No, that's actually a really good idea.
They come up with a solution:
You can do some shots and
murder.
you can lace his needle with some battery acid.
Kill him. Have a heart attack.
Yeah, that's the final solution we're looking for.
One woman is particularly interested in putting their plan into action. Irene Maslin.
Some residents of the town described her as a real Charles Manson. They were frightened of her.
She struck fear into most people's minds who met her. She had an aura and a manner about her that was quite intimidating.
Irene Maslin was the epitome of an alpha female. She ruled the clan.
So, you set?
Irene knows how to deal with troublemakers. She is a local drug dealer. Her business thrives on intimidation.
She'd been seen to associate with what were described as heavy hitters in the drug trade.
What happens next will shock a small town to its core. At an isolated farmhouse in country Victoria, Australia, friends gather for a weekend visit.
Miss Paul, Irene.
Among them, Paul Snable, here to see his ex-girlfriend, Karen. But his reception is tense.
He was still thinking, what's going on here? Why am I here? Why did Karen ask me here and she's ignoring me?
Karen's not interested in rekindling the relationship. She wants it to end, once and for all, at the urging of her friend, Irene.
It was Irene that put murder on the table. She wanted to kill someone, and she wanted other people to do it with her.
After several hours, it's time for this dealer to strike. Paul is always ready for a hit of speed.
Some goodies.
And Irene has cooked up a special batch.
They give him an injection of a combination of battery acid and amphetamines in the view that that would cause a massive heart attack and he would die instantly.
Paul suspects nothing.
They expected him to simply drop dead very shortly thereafter, but he didn't.
The speed has an effect, but the poison doesn't.
Nothing happened. He went for a walk, he got on his motorbike, he rode around the paddocks, he did all sorts of things. He was still going, he was on speed.
I can't believe he's still running around out there. What's going on?
I don't know, but we're going to have to do something to finish him off.
Irene is determined Paul must die. Time for Plan B.
Nothing but hitting him over the head with a brick's going to stop this guy.
Good idea. Going to need the men to do this. Go and ring Ian.
No. This is going to get messy. Let's go.
Ian Gillan, who was a person who hadn't been party to the original discussion.
This is Paul. Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you.
A simple young man. He was terrified of Irene. He'd seen Irene in rages.
We've got to do something about him.
Irene orders Ian to kill Paul, a man he barely knows.
Come on, over the back of the head.
Irene Maslin requested him to hit Paul Snable over the head with a baseball bat.
Just crack him over the back of the head.
He approached Paul from behind, and being left-handed, he struck Paul from behind to the left side of his skull.
Paul just fell unconscious and bleeding.
And there was a lot of blood. Paul started moaning and groaning, and then hit him once or at least twice again.
Poor Ian Gillan, whose only involvement in it was out of fear, he honestly thought in that moment that if he didn't do what Irene told him to do, that she'd take the bat to him.
Crikey, he's still moving.
Incredibly, Paul is still alive.
He was still breathing, he was twitching.
Paul Snable has been injected with battery acid and bludgeoned with a baseball bat, but he's hanging on to life. Irene Maslin has had enough. Time for Plan C.
Irene Maslin then got a plastic bag and put the plastic bag over Paul's head and secured it around his neck with a rubber band.
No one deserves to die like he did.
A number of them then sat and listened and watched as he gasped his last breath.
Last.
In the aftermath of the murder, Irene is still in charge. Paul's body is dumped in isolated bushland.
took him off and threw him in the bush like a piece of rubbish.
To cover their tracks, the murderous gang destroys all the evidence, including Paul's motorbike.
One of the women stripped the bike, took it apart, and dispersed it around the countryside, threw it in, a bit in a dam here and a bit in a bin there.
Paul Snable has been missing for 2 weeks.
An air search of the immediate vicinity was undertaken, quite an extensive search, in the expectation or the possibility that he may have had a crash on his motorcycle.
But it is a chance find at the local garbage dump that arouses police suspicions.
Someone found a piece of the motorbike. Then someone else found another piece of the motorbike.
Police suspect foul play.
He was very much attached to his motorcycle. People couldn't understand why he would, do anything like this to his motorcycle.
Investigators start retracing Paul's steps back to the party.
Then they just started talking to all the conspirators one by one, piecing it together, working backwards, and eventually one of them cracked.
It's Ian Gillian who cracks first, incriminating the others. He is convicted of manslaughter. So too are Karen Randall and her sister Donna. The mastermind, Irene Maslin, is convicted of murder.
Very hard, very callous, no signs of remorse whatsoever, no expressions of regret.
Australian law at the time means Irene only receives 15 years in jail. Today, she's a free woman.
She's now out. What she's doing now, I have no idea. Whether she's influencing anyone else in diabolical deeds or has pulled her head in as just, living the quiet life, I wouldn't know. 15 years does not seem like enough for the premeditated and bizarre murder that she dreamt up and carried out.
In 2008, in the charming seaside town of Belfast, Maine. A wealthy young couple seemed to have everything.
And they were pretty inseparable. James inherited all this money from his father, millions of dollars. It looked like they would have a charmed life.
But James and Amber Cummings are living with secrets. Their 12-year-old marriage is miserable.
He didn't appear to have a lot of relationships with people or with his family. Kept to himself.
Amber is afraid of her husband and has been for years.
He abused her physically, emotionally, sexually. He tore down every shred of her individuality.
This guy's gonna run the country?
And James has some alarming political views.
What is this world coming to?
He's a white supremacist.
How the hell is he supposed to run the country? He's colored. I'm gonna kill him.
And he's using his newfound wealth to pursue a macabre hobby.
James became obsessed with Nazi paraphernalia. He spent a lot of his inheritance seeking out items that Hitler had owned.
His behavior is fueled by a delusional mental illness.
It was clear that he had a serious mental illness known as paranoid schizophrenia.
James lives in a constant state of paranoia.
Where have you been?
I had to get out of the house for a while.
Oh, you think you can leave the house?
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
I went to your brother's.
I don't want you going to my brother's house.
He can't tolerate other people in Amber's life.
Here forever.
I don't want you going anywhere. You got that?
What is wrong with you? I can't stay in here forever.
You want to stay here.
What is wrong with you? You're acting crazy!
He wages a campaign to cut them out.
He isolated her from her family. They moved several times so he could keep her isolated.
James and Amber have a daughter. But he is no kinder to her.
Clara, come here. That's the Fuhrer, Silva. You're not to touch that.
When he tried to beat the daughter, she would step in between them and take the beating herself.
Do you understand? Where do you think you're going?
What's going on, Clara? Honey, just go upstairs. What is going on?
What are you doing?
She's not doing anything wrong. She is just a kid.
Even though that made James angrier and made him hit her worse.
I'm teaching her discipline. This is something you don't understand.
Disgusting.
She was subjected to marital rape on a regular basis.
Isolated, abused, and terrified. Amber does try and escape with her daughter.
Amber tried a couple of times to escape from James and always failed. And he got angry and the abuse escalated.
There's no way out for Amber Cummings. James controls her every move.
Come here. Come here.
Now his perversions
Come here. Sit down. Sit down.
grow even more disturbing.
Now I want you to pick me the best one.
Oh my God.
What do you think?
They're children.
That's right. They're great, huh?
He had become obsessed with child pornography.
Come on, do it.
I don't want to do this.
He had hundreds of images of child pornography on his computer.
James, it's horrible.
Well, come on.
Mom, I don't want to do spelling book. Honey, I'll be there in a second. Just wait outside for me, okay? Okay.
Well, come on. Pick your best one.
That one. All right.
His authority is unchallenged. His violence unchecked.
He ran his house like Hitler ran Germany.
Amber reaches her breaking point. In a quiet New England town, a rich young couple is hiding secrets. Nazi sympathizer James Cummings is addicted to child pornography.
All right, gorgeous. You are good to go. You want to go downstairs and play?
Please, thank you, Mom.
By December 2008, his battered wife, Amber, is about to snap.
Amber got up with her daughter. Seemed like a normal morning. And then she walked into the bedroom, pulled the .45 from under the pillow.
The
domestic violence victims, they very often think about a way out of the situation is to kill themselves.
On the brink of ending her life, Amber realizes if she dies, who will protect her daughter from her monster of a father?
What troubled her the most was his child pornography collection. She knew that it was only a matter of time before he sexually abused their little daughter.
Amber Cummings could never stand up to James to protect herself. Now, her maternal instinct explodes to the surface. There's only one thing for her to do.
She couldn't leave Clara there with him. She walked into James's bedroom.
While her sadistic jailer sleeps, she takes his gun and pulls the trigger.
Everybody has a breaking point. Ultimately, take away all the socialization that we've been subjected to since the moment we came out to the world. We are animals, and animals can attack.
Amber takes her daughter to a neighbor's house and calls police.
Clara, we've got to go. Quickly, come on, let's go outside. Let's go.
Chief of Police Jeffrey Trafton will never forget the scene.
It's hard for us to justify shooting somebody who's asleep in a bed. She looked more like a victim than a shooter.
Expressionless, just like a shell of a person, really.
Amber killed to protect her daughter. But as police discover, she may have done something else.
Look at this stuff.
Change the course of history.
When the FBI came into that house, what did they find? All the ingredients for a dirty bomb, including uranium.
Looks like we have a manual.
They found some of that stuff was radioactive.
In James's twisted, racist view of the world, Barack Obama should never be president.
They were going to drive to Washington, D.C. for President Barack Obama's inauguration, and he was going to explode a dirty bomb down there.
Amber shoots James just 1 month before the presidential inauguration. James Cummings' evil plan could have killed thousands.
Amber killed her husband. She is 100% responsible for his death. But there is no doubt in my mind, not only did Amber save her daughter from a horrible fate, but possibly the United States.
In a civilized society, Amber's vigilante justice can't stand unchallenged. A murder trial must take place, and it touches a nerve.
She had probably upwards of 100 people in this community show up for her sentencing date, most of which were wearing T-shirts that read, "Free Amber."
Pleading guilty, Amber's fate is left to a single judge.
Amber was given an 8-year sentence that was fully suspended, so she walked away from the Waldo County Superior Courthouse a free woman.
There's still a certain segment that don't agree that she should have shot him and killed him. But I do believe that the community as a whole has forgiven her.
Free from her abuser and any jail sentence, Amber makes an extraordinary request.
She did ask the community to forgive her husband. She had said, look, he had some problems, and I don't want the community to hold any anger towards him.
Amber Cummings is a deadly woman. She murdered her husband while he was sleeping. But seeing her story, it's easy for me to understand how Amber was created.
When a mother loves her son so much,
I would categorize her as the quintessential mother-in-law from hell.
that she can't share him,
She loved him like no other man in her life.
jealousy takes control.
Elizabeth Duncan is one of the most complex, unusual, and disturbing deadly women I've ever studied.
(1958), Ojai, California. Elizabeth Duncan is a woman who doesn't like being alone. Luckily, her 29-year-old son, Frank, is very understanding.
Frank!
What is it, Mom?
I'm uneasy in this storm. Lightning, thunder. Come give me some comfort. Come on.
They were constantly together.
Elizabeth Duncan had an unnatural affection and attachment to her son.
After an astonishing 20 marriages in as many years, the only man she can hold is her son.
One of Elizabeth's problems is she had a bit of an attachment disorder. She had to have a man, which probably explains her 20-some marriages in less than 20 years.
She's a serial bigamist who leaves behind a complicated mess of marriage certificates. Her son, Frank, an attorney, is left to clean up her legal mess. But he's had enough and wants his mother to move out of his apartment.
I want you out.
Don't speak to me like that.
I'm done with all of this.
Don't speak
I'm
to
done
me
with
like
it.
that.
No, I want you out. I want you out.
You'll be very sorry. Now, please, Frank. Don't do this. Don't do this.
In a big display, she went off to her room under the pretenses of packing. And put on her best negligee. She laid out her insurance papers. She laid out her good jewelry. And then proceeded to put herself in bed and tried to kill herself.
I don't hear you packing, Ma. I'm serious, Ma. Ma.
By the time he went into the room to determine if she was packing or not, he found her, she was near death.
Ma! Ma!
Elizabeth Ma Duncan is a psychotherapist's dream. She was a Disneyland of mental problems.
Saved from death, Ma spends the next few weeks in the hospital. She's assigned a nurse, Olga Kupchik.
Hey, Frank. Hi. Hi.
Oh, thank you. Sorry.
There was mutual interaction between Frank and Olga right away.
Frank is careful not to make his mother jealous.
Oh, we can't let Ma see us together.
Why?
Look, I haven't really dated much because every time I bring a girl home, Ma goes a little crazy. She's just really possessive.
They had to keep it pretty much under wraps because Elizabeth Duncan was insanely jealous of Olga. But she would have been insanely jealous of any woman, I believe.
The couple start a secret romance.
They did things that a typical couple would do. They went to lunch, they went to dinners, walked down State Street, took long walks on Stearns Wharf, which is the pier in Santa Barbara. It was getting very serious between the two.
Hi, Mom.
He rarely dated because anytime he brought a girl home to meet his mom, she flew into a fit of rage.
Elizabeth Duncan seems to have thought of her son as most women would think of a man they're in love with. She acted like a jealous girlfriend when he dated.
But their secret will soon be revealed because their relationship becomes intimate.
Olga wound up pregnant. And this, of course, being the 1950s, they did the right thing, and so they decided it was time to get married.
But it's a secret ceremony, and Ma isn't invited.
Olga. Ma grew very suspicious and decided to place a phone call to the hospital where Olga worked.
What do you mean she just got married yesterday?
You could almost hear the click at the other end of the line with Duncan just hanging up.
She acted like a jilted wife. She completely fell apart.
I had to do the right thing.
The right thing? Well, that was the wrong thing.
I'm moving in with her.
No!
This set a lot of things, a lot of very, very, very bad things in motion.
It didn't matter to Elizabeth that her son loved Olga. It didn't matter to Elizabeth that Olga was pregnant 7 months along with her first grandchild. She was jealous of Olga. It was a malignant, burning, seething, green-eyed monster. And she couldn't control it.
It's 1958 in Ojai, California. Elizabeth Ma Duncan is distraught. The only man she can count on, her son, has left her for his pregnant new wife.
It's hard to say how an unnatural attachment starts, but we know that they do. And once started, they're hard to break.
Would you be the Duncans?
Yes, we are.
Like a jilted lover, she plans to get Frank back.
She came up with another crazy plot, and that was just to go ahead and annul the marriage herself. Now, it's very difficult to annul somebody else's marriage, unless perhaps you're Ma Duncan.
A seasoned con woman, Ma poses as his son's wife, Olga,
Okay, I believe you.
and hires a man to pose as Frank.
And you are Olga Duncan, 25 years of age, is that right?
Yes, I am.
The idea that a middle-aged woman in her 50s could pass before a court as a woman in her 20s is laughable. And yet, Elizabeth thought nothing of doing it.
Incredibly, it works.
Thank you very much. Good day.
She did it because it made her feel good, thinking that she was breaking up, erasing, if you will, Frank's marriage to Olga.
Olga is devastated. and she's getting threatening calls from Ma.
What's wrong?
All the harassing calls to the hospital, it could cost me my job, Frank.
It's a terrible thing to have to choose between a wife and a mother.
But all Frank can do is try and appease both women.
So what he suggests to his wife, who's pregnant with his child, is that, honey, I think that in order to keep Ma placated and maybe she'll stop calling us and harassing us, I think it's best that I go ahead and move back in with Ma.
Little do Frank and Olga know, this is their last goodbye.
He no longer lives with his wife, Olga. She's alone in her apartment, continuing to work and pregnant.
But Ma Duncan wants a permanent solution and recruits 2 thugs to help her.
Ma Duncan gives violent criminals a bad name.
Elizabeth Duncan was the mother-in-law from hell.
November 17th, 1958. Olga is living alone. She is an easy target.
Your husband, he's really drunk.
She opens the door to a man that she has never seen. He tells her that he's a friend of Frank's. Frank's down in the back of his car, and he's quite drunk. Olga can't see. She's not really sure. She just sees somebody huddled on the back seat. She leans in because she thinks it's her husband.
Get in the car! Get in. You be quiet, okay? Quiet, okay?
The plan was to borrow a car, get a pistol, and to take Olga, kill her, and drive her to Mexico and dump the body. Lewis finally pulls over off the 101 freeway. They pull her out of the car. Lewis hits her with the gun so hard in the head that he breaks the gun.
That's it, good job.
The thugs are amateurs. They've forgotten a shovel.
All right, where's the shovel? What shovel? The shovel, dig the hole. I told you to bring a shovel.
You said you bring shovel. You're an idiot, okay? Now we have to dig.
Stupid, you're an idiot.
You don't even know what you're doing.
One job, one shovel.
Their victim isn't even dead.
One of them continues to strangle Olga, while the other one tries to dig a shallow grave. Well, it must be very tiring to kill somebody because they trade places every once in a while. So they just take turns.
Olga and her unborn child suffer one last time.
Olga's last moments were just terror-filled because of how these 2 guys murdered her.
She is buried alive.
Based on the autopsy results, it appears that they found traces of dirt in her throat.
Continuing their incompetence, Ma's henchmen are soon caught for other crimes. In jail, one of the men makes a stunning confession to a visiting pastor.
The pastor actually got him on his soft side. Isn't there something that you want to tell me? You can tell me. And so what happened was he actually confessed.
His accomplice follows his lead, and they give up Ma Duncan as the mastermind.
The Ma Duncan trial was coined the trial of the century back in 1959. It garnered headlines worldwide. People lined up in front of the courthouse as early as 3 in the morning to try to get a glimpse of the murderous Ma Duncan.
At Ma Duncan's trial, the prosecution calls dozens of witnesses, but her defense team only calls 2.
Those witnesses would have been Frank Duncan and his mother, Ma Duncan.
Ma Duncan and her accomplices are found guilty of murder. All 3 are sentenced to death.
Never admitted that she did it. Never denied it till the day that she died.
She used people, abused people, and drama was a major part of her life. She was insanely, irrationally jealous of her son and the woman her son loved. I think there was more than one thing wrong with her.
Ma Duncan has to face her greatest fear, being alone. On August 8th, 1962, she is executed. Her son doesn't attend.
Ma Duncan's last words were professing her innocence, and where's Frank?